Morning. Somebody wanted to see video of the waves. Let's see if I can show you waves. That's the front end of like a Bronco. I can't even see what I'm doing here. This is terrible. Yeah, this is what you get when you try to give people what they ask for, right? Jesus Christ. Oh my goodness, I can't figure this out to save my life. There's the pier. There's the ocean. There's people sitting on the sand. This is like my super zoom on this piece of shit phone. Samsung 7 knockoff, I think. I got robbed. There's some waves. It's like 2 to 3 foot, they say. There's a couple surfers out there. That'll be me soon. There's a wave. Look at that, right on the other side of the garbage can. That shoulder right there. I'm going to be riding one of those soon. A whole minute of that. God dang, you had to put up with that. And I got real drama for you now. So, wow, look at my mouth. So, like, nobody's talking about it, and I don't understand why. It's so gnarly. Like, it's been 10 years since the banks didn't have the liquidity to fucking lend to each other. And it wasn't a liquidity problem, it was a trust problem. The banks were running so low on liquidity that they couldn't trust everybody. Overnight, the repo rate went up to 10%. In other words, the overnight lending that major institutions do for each other in order to allow for the liquidity, that rate got up to 10%. And then the Fed said they're going to do some QE. And then they said they didn't. And then they said, oh, it was our intern's fault. And so now they've just did a $54 billion, I think, liquidity pump in the first saving of the banks in 10 years. The banks have fucked up again so hard, it took only 10 years for them to get to the point where they didn't trust each other and they wouldn't lend to each other. And the Fed came in to save the day. In other words, the bank said, we're going to kill ourselves. We're going to kill the whole system. Save us. Save us. On the very people. Save us using the very same equity that the people we've robbed from is coming from. Because that QE is money you owe, motherfucker. I don't care if you're not American. That money is debt that will be paid. Will be paid. And people are... what are we talking about here? What are we talking about? Let's talk about it. Hairdo is something not to talk about. Yeah. So anyways, I need to go in the water. It's getting very exciting, and it's not in the mainstream news. And the reason we're involved in Bitcoin has everything to do with finance and how money works. And if none of you are paying attention right now, what is it, September 16th? I don't know what month is it. Is it September 16th? I think it's September 16th or 17th. That's how I live my life. I don't care about what day it is. It's Tuesday. I know that much. Tuesday, this day in September, the beginning of the third week in September, or second week. Gosh, I don't even know, man. You're asking. I'm trying to make it significant, and I'm just making it worthless because all I can think about is getting wet. Liquidity issue. It's huge. It's gnarly, and nobody's paying attention. Oh, and then on top of it, Department of Justice is indicting JP Morgan and 2 of the traders, not Life Masters, obviously, the one who created this whole ability for JP Morgan to manipulate the price of precious metals. But now they got 2 traders that have been there for a while. They're going to accuse and blame for what JP Morgan did to the precious metals market. You got silver, man?